Hi, welcome to another Digital Works ProMax ordering guide. This guide will show you how to make an order for photo books and assumes you know how to make a general order. If you are unsure on how to use DW ProMax, please go back and view our DW ProMax guide first. So first thing we need to do is click on the photo books quick link button here. This will take you straight to our photo books section here, and we're going to work with the A4 hardcover photo books. Our first page is called the title page, and you have a few different options up the top here for templates you could use to fill this page. So we're going to go with the title page that's here, which allows us to have a background image, a foreground image, and two text boxes here which you could fill with names, etc. So let's choose a background image to go on this title page. I might go with this image here. You can see this image is now quite prominent on the page, so we might want to drop the opacity back a little bit so that we can see the foreground image a bit better. To do this, we would go to the options pane here, and you can see background image opacity is here, and let's drop that down to about 25%. So now we will enter in our foreground image, which I think we'll use these cars here. Drop them in there and line them up nicely on the page there like that. So we'll just do that by clicking and dragging the image to where we want it. That looks good. So now I'll click on the text section here, and you can see the text options come up over here on the right hand side. If it's still on the wrong tab here, you can just click on Tools and that'll bring up the text section there. So we're going to change this text to say our wedding. Alright, so the text is probably a bit small, so we'll go for a larger text option, maybe go to 60, and we'll also change our font here. These fonts will be different depending on your computer and the fonts you have available. I like that, but I think I could go a little bit larger with the text. We've got plenty of room there, so we're just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. Until we're happy with the result. If you did have more text to enter here, let's say you entered and you can see now the text is actually being clipped off here. There's something to keep an eye on to make sure that it doesn't happen, that you're on your photo book that the text is being cut off there. You can also see this exclamation point comes up saying that there may be text that's being clipped out. So just double check and make sure that that's correct before you move on. Just going to remove that text there now. Back to saying our wedding. And in this section here, I might go with the same font. It's called Great Vibes. And I'm just going to say, oh, that's changed. And that's going to be... Let's go back down to Great Vibes again. There it is. 2024, we'll make that a bit bigger as well. Maybe, I don't know, size 50. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that title page now. Okay, so we'll move on to the inside pages. Now, as you can see, there are several more options up here for the templates that you can use. There is also a left page template and a right page template. And the reason we have done that is so that you have a slightly bigger border here where the spine of the book is than you do on the outside edge of the book. And that's because there is going to be about 1/4 of an inch that goes inside the spine area. So that's something to keep an eye on and make sure that you get that correct. Obviously, if you put a right page and a left page, you're going to have the opposite effect, and more of this side is going to be inside the spine, not something that you want. So make sure you choose a left page to be in the left side and a right page to be in the right hand side. We also have the option of background images here we can choose. So we could put that in the background, for example. Go back here and then make it, 50% opaque if we like. And we can change the image stroke to black, so it makes the images stand out a bit more. And then we'll drop our images in there. Let's go back to the start here. We'll just start dropping in some images here. And maybe that one in there. There we go. That looks quite nice. So for the right hand side one here, we've already dropped in our right hand page template. But let's, instead of having a background image, we use the page 2 options, and we're going to make that a black background instead. And maybe have white stroke for our images to make the images stand out again. And we'll just drop those in there. We can see that these are being cut off a little bit, so again we would click and just move them over a little bit to make sure everything's nicely centered. So for our next page, I might choose a different template like this one here. Drop in a background image, make it 25% opacity, and then maybe we don't want to have that as our background image. That's fine. All we need to do is click on the Remove Images button here for page 3, and that will clear any images that you've dropped into this section. Make sure that you uncheck it again when you're ready to restart. So even if I filled up all of these different squares here and the background, I can then click that button and they will all be removed again, uncheck it, and I can refill it. So then I can make it instead have a background color. Let's choose a stroke again, make that white. You might have just seen before when I dropped an image in, it came in the wrong direction. This is expecting a portrait image to go in here. I'm going to drop those 2 images in, and then if we drop this image in here, you can see that's rotated incorrectly. We can still use this image and crop it the other way. All we need to do is click on the image in the preview area, and then you can see the tools pop up at the bottom here, and just click on that button to rotate it left, and then just drag it in to center it. If we need to look at this a bit closer up, we can double click, and that will bring the image in. We can drag this out a bit. There we go, and that brings that image in so we can see it nice and clear, nice and close, and we have the cropping enabled there. Once we're ready, we just double click again, and that will bring it back to where it needs to be. Okay, I'm just going to quickly fill in the pages here. So we've filled up most of our book here. We've come to the final page, but we actually want to add some more pages to this book. That's not a problem. We can then just go back 1 page, and then you can see these buttons here which say add a page before these or add a page after these. You can't do these buttons on either the title page or the last page in the book. It must be on the inside pages. So I'm going to click this button to add 2 more pages after these. And you can see those pages have been added in there. But I accidentally double clicked it, so we've got an extra 2 here. That's okay, we can remove those just by clicking on this minus button here. And that's taken those 2 pages away. So now we've got these pages, and then 9 and 10. And then we'll have our final page there. So again, if we go back 1, add an extra page, you can see that goes to 11 and 12, which we don't want. So we're just going to click on this minus button here, and that takes those pages back out, like so. I'll fill in those pages again, and let's go to our final page. So on the inside of the back cover here, a good option would be to use this logo page here. So we would drag that template in. Let's add a nice photo of the wedding couple, even if it's the wrong orientation. Let's say this one here, we'll drag it in there, rotate it around. There you go, nice composition like that. And we've already added our logo into this folder of images, so we can drag that logo into this section here, and you can see our logo will then be on the final page of the book. And that's it. You can now click on the Add to Cart button and progress through the shopping cart as you would normally. Thank you very much for watching this video on how to create books within DW ProMax.